I'm in Polignano Amate, Italy, and today I'm gonna be trying food for €1 versus 1,000 euros. Will any of these meals actually fuel my calisthenics training without making me feel too heavy? Let's find out. All right, real quick, we gotta pull out some money. €1 for breakfast, 30 euros for lunch, and 1,000 euros for dinner. This is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. I'm trying to think, what can I even buy for €1? Maybe like a croissant. We're gonna keep walking, checking out a couple different restaurants and see what we can actually get. We're gonna be rating the quality and taste, if it's worth the price, macros, nutritional benefits, and overall vibe of what you get for $1, $30, and $1,000. I also wanna see if I can hit my protein goals for the day without going over on calories. The cheapest food that they have is like a dessert right here. I don't know what that is. All the Italians, comment down below, let us know what that is. This was becoming to feel impossible until I realized I should have just have the same breakfast that I have every single morning, even back home in Miami. All right, first meal of the day. They should definitely have something here for €1. Let's see what they got. Hello, how are you? How much is an espresso?
Espresso?
She didn't tell me the price. I guess we're just gonna find out. How much is it?
€1.30.
€1.30. There we go. All right, that counts as €1, I would say. Let's go ahead and give it a taste test. Wow, what a beautiful view out here in Polignano Amate. I'm actually here for the Red Bull cliff diving event. It was so sick. Basically had cliff divers jumping off this thing right into the ocean. All right, now before we get into the pros and cons and if it's worth the price, first, we gotta have the taste test. Let's see if this is better than the coffee they have in Miami. This is amazing. I don't know if it's the crazy view, the air, atmosphere, but this is like the best espresso I've ever had, for real. This is so crazy. Taste test, I'll give that like 5 stars out of 5. That was amazing. I'd say that's definitely worth the price. Only €1. This is worth at least €5. Now the nutritional value you're getting out of this, that's gonna be nothing. But what you're not getting out of it is you're not getting fat, you're not going over on your caloric intake. My main concern is making sure I get enough protein for the day to fuel muscle growth and recovery. And that's gonna be about 1 gram of protein per pound of target body fat. So I like to be around 172 pounds. So I'm gonna be eating around 172 grams of protein a day. So let's see if we can reach the protein goal by the end of the day. But the energy is up and my body's already burning fat and getting shredded. Let's keep this going. So overall, for €1, what you get out here in Polignano Amate, an amazing priceless view, the best espresso I've ever had in my life. This is definitely worth the price. When it comes to calisthenics, you need energy to do a lot of these moves, but you also can't feel too heavy or bloated because it makes it very hard to do these body weight movements. To be honest, some days when I eat a lot of carbs, I can barely hold a planche because it feels so heavy and bloated. So I'm gonna be testing my planche after every meal to see if I still got it. All right, quick little planche check.
Too sketchy for me.
All right, it's later on in the day. The sun is out and it's hot, and now I'm getting actually kind of hungry. So we're going for the second meal of the day, considered lunch, I guess. And we have €30 to get this done. In America, they have McDonald's on like every corner. Here they have like a gelato shop, literally the same thing. They serve the same thing everywhere we go. I feel rich. We can literally afford to get anything for lunch out here. All of it looks just so good. The menus are amazing. I can smell the food in the air. I'm just gonna have to just pick a place at random. My only concern is that I don't go over on my carbs and my calories. Their main portion of food is actually the carbs, and then they have like a side of protein, which is like the opposite of how I eat. So this is gonna be kind of hard. This is insane. Imagine having lunch or like dinner with this crazy view right here. That's actually what we're gonna do tonight for the €1,000 dinner. There's actually a restaurant that's like into the side of the cliff, almost like a cave. The most insane thing I've ever seen. Probably gonna be the craziest restaurant I've ever been in my life. And that's what we have coming up next. We just gotta get through the rest of the day and get these planches in as well. All right, this menu is insane. Look how many things that they have here for under €30. We can literally get whatever we want. Tuna tartare, salmon carpaccio. What? That would be so much more expensive in Miami, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna go for this right here, the grilled tenderloin with mixed salad, €20. Now I'm really curious what the quality is gonna be like. For €20, can you actually get a proper steak? Let's find out. All right, we are at Bella Embriana. This is a pizzeria and osteria. Thank you so much. If the tenderloin is €20, I'm getting that for sure. And it comes with a mixed green salad. So I got my proteins and I got my greens in one meal. I got €10 to just splurge, get whatever I want. Hopefully it doesn't get me too full and too heavy, so I can't do the planche after this. That's gonna be the only way I'll officially be able to spend €1,000 on the last dinner meal, and that's gonna be like an insane meal. We're gonna get the big water, so that's gonna be 2.5 euros. So now we're down to 750 euros. Let's see, what can we possibly get? Do you have a normal margarita pizza?
Margarita?
Yeah. How much is that?
6 euros.
You heard that? Margarita pizza, 6 euros. So in total, we just spent 28.5 euros. So we actually have like a little bit of change left over. Oh my God. This is kind of crazy right now. 20 euros. Insane. This smells so good. These are special tomatoes, right?
Everything local. Buon appetito.
Thank you so much. Seriously, I feel like a pizza like this in Miami would be at least 20 bucks, 22, just for a margarita, like Italian style margarita pizza. Look how thin this is. Normally I wouldn't eat pizza, but we're in Italy right now. Really not even that much calories, to be honest. One slice could probably be like 100 calories or less. Look how thin the bread is. Paper thin. All right, so obviously the quality is super on point. There's only one thing left to do. Let's give it a taste test. Wow, this does not taste like tomato sauce from America. You can tell this was like just made back there. This is so crazy. And another thing that I like from this, in America, there ain't no way that this would still be dry and in this good condition. It tastes so good. Underneath this pizza would be soaking wet. And look, this pizza is completely dry, completely intact. I'm gonna have to give this 10 stars. This is amazing pizza right here. Time to cut open this steak and see if they know how to cook steak out here in Italy. Right down the middle. Bam. Not too bad. I like it a little more cooked. There's only one way to know for sure. We gotta give this a taste test. That is like the softest steak I've ever eaten. This is so crazy how this is blowing my mind right now how this is 20 euros. This is insane. What? We're gonna dress this up. All right, time to give it that taste test. I've never tasted arugula more fresh in my life. These cherry tomatoes, they taste so fresh and amazing. They literally like taste like fruits. In America, the ingredients are so bad, so they have to do a bunch of stuff just to make it taste good. 20 stars. Like, I will come here every day. Seriously, this is insane. It's crazy how lucky we got with this spot. Wow. Now the macros for this meal right here and the nutritional benefits, I'm gonna say just the greens alone, this is probably, let's be generous with everything because I'm eyeballing it. This is gonna be around 40 calories if you include the condiments that I just added around it. The steak right here, if I ate the whole thing, this might be around 400, 500 calories, and it's gonna be almost 60 grams of protein. And as for the pizza, I mean, each slice is so thin. It's basically a super thin piece of bread, barely any tomato sauce, but the most delicious tomato sauce. Probably gonna be, let's say, 100 calories or even less. So in total, this whole entire meal is gonna be around like 700 calories, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. As for the protein, let's say it's around 60 grams for the meat, around 5 grams from the pizza. That's gonna be around 65 grams of protein. Just this one meal, we're almost halfway to our protein goal for the day. Only thing we're gonna have to make sure is not to go overboard on this pizza, and hopefully I don't feel too heavy after eating steak. That's why I normally stick to like lean meats like fish or chicken, something like that, so I can be as light as possible. Especially this next planche coming up, I wanna do it on my fingertips. Hopefully we get that down. I've only done it a couple times. That's actually gonna be the last test to see if this meal is official or not. The overall vibe of this place, I'm gonna give it a solid pass. This is amazing. For 30 euros, you have live music on the side, you have the Italian sun, crazy vibes, you're right by the cliff oceanside. I would say this is well worth 30 euros, even more to be honest. So far, it's amazing out here. Definitely pass by Bella and Brianna if you're ever out here in Polignano al Mare. Cool thing about Italy, I mean, take a look around. Absolutely no cars could even come through this way. So everywhere you wanna go, you gotta walk. So we're forced to get our steps in and burn extra calories through the day. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I could actually hit this planche on my fingertips. I've only done it a couple times. I was in Malta a couple days ago, and surprisingly, I felt really light and I was able to do it. I was making a vlog with Genetic Anomaly, and I hit it like, I don't know, at least 10 times in under 15, 20 minutes. All right, let's go for it. Not sure how many seconds that was, but I might just give that a pass. There we go. That 1,000 euro dinner was all I needed for the motivation to get this done. All right, now we got that secured. Let's get it. So the restaurant we're gonna be going for tonight's 1,000 euro dinner was actually a place I had seen before on Instagram. I didn't even know it was in Polignano al Mare. It's called Ristorante Grotta Palazzesi. And it's just like one of the most amazing places I've ever seen. It's basically a restaurant within a cave, like under the cliff. Literally like the most beautiful, breathtaking atmosphere place that I've ever seen. But before we go, I wanna check out some of the reviews on the place. Oh, it's not looking good. Views for guests only. A horrible experience experience disappointing food. I wouldn't recommend this place to anybody if you're after good food. So, I mean, normally I would think like, okay, maybe it's like a one-off bad review, but every review is consistent saying the same thing. The view is amazing, but the food is horrible. The service is horrible, and it's just way too overpriced apparently for the low quality food. And even if you do get the view, you still won't be seated there if you're not staying at the hotel. We're gonna have to find all of this stuff out for ourselves. So we're gonna be putting each one of these things to the test when we get to Grotto Palazzesi to see if any of this is true. And at the end, we're gonna have the final test, the planche test. So far, it's looking good. Wow, look at this view. This is insane. Wow. Thank you, appreciate it. I mean, it doesn't get any closer than this to the view. And we probably have like the best seat. So far, not giving you a good seat, that's totally busted. Thank you so much.
This is a shiso with the sour cream and cheddar.
Thank you, man, appreciate that. Didn't even order this, they just brought this over here. Hopefully they're not cheating and they didn't look up my name or something like that and are just trying to do this for a good like review or video. I mean, they have no idea that we're actually making this video, to be honest, and we're filming pretty discreetly. So before I got here, I actually asked some people if it was okay if I could come film. He said that he asked for a friend and they wouldn't even let him do it for $5,000. All right, so they just showed me the wine bottle. I saw the year, it was 2024. So it's like a 70 euro bottle for a 2024 wine. That's a little confusing. It literally almost tastes like water, I'm not even kidding. But let's go ahead and give this little appetizer, greeting appetizer, a taste test. Looks delicious, but it's deep fried. But it's a leaf, so how bad could it be? It tastes like the world's best potato chip. All right, time to taste this lettuce. This one looks kind of slimy. I'm not sure about the quality right there. I can see what they say about the ingredients. It's not like the highest quality ingredients for sure, ironically. To be honest, I think the salad that we had for lunch actually was a bit more fresh than this, to be honest. Knowing how much I'm spending on this, I probably might just give this like a 2, maybe even a 1.5. Trust me guys, I really want this to be worth it because I'm spending 1,000 euros on this dinner. I want to leave here happy. So far, the service, for me personally today, it's been super legit. I would say if they can keep this up all the way to the end, that's a definite pass. And the reviews, I guess it's just not that valid. So I think what they're doing is they actually are mixing the two menus. I had gotten the seafood one and the meat one. So one dish goes to me and one dish goes to the cameraman every single time. Like he said, we have blue lobster and we got veal over here. All right, here we go. My first taste test for the first legit dish that we're gonna get. So the blue lobster was very good. Let's give the veal a little taste test. Okay, this tastes like literally like lunch meat, like from a sandwich. Literally, the sandwich could have been from like a gas station or something like that. I'm not kidding. You just try and let me know. Maybe I'm being harsh. That's why I have somebody else here to give their opinion. Also guys, complete transparency. Normally when I go to restaurants, I'm really not like very picky and very like specific about certain things. It's only because we're doing this type of video that I'm trying to like hone in on every tiny little thing. Normally I really don't care, to be honest. Here comes the next dish. Looks nice and pretty. The portion to me looks surprisingly small actually. I feel like I can just eat this in like 4 bites, but let's see. If I'm eating the pasta and it feels hard and it's sticking to my teeth, it still needs to be cooked a little more. That's how this is right now. I'm gonna give this pasta, I really don't want to do this, a 2. Especially because we have so much to compare it to. Last night, I also went out and had pasta, the lobster pasta. It was like light years ahead of this. Okay, to me, to be honest, this is a little raw for my preference. This is just a
little bit cooked?
Yes, that's okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you so much. Please. All right, guys, this is kind of insane right now. I just got the steak back, and it literally looks like roast beef. Look how dry this is. This is insane. I can't believe that they just did this to the steak. This tastes like roast beef. My mom could make way better roast beef. Quality, maybe like a 2. The taste, a 1. It tastes like and I mean, you could put a side by side of what this steak looks like compared to the steak that we got earlier today. I think the best thing was like the greeting appetizer that they give you. Second best thing was the bread. All right, let's cover the macros for a second of this meal. All in all, if we're not talking about the nutritional benefits or like the quality of the food, just like the calories, I would say we did a pretty decent job because we've prioritized protein. At least 2 of these main dishes were just protein based, so we were able to get quite a bit of protein in there. The carbs that they gave us was very, very little. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for some of you guys, but it ended up working out for us because we kept the carbs low to an appropriate amount so that we're not overdoing it. And as far as the fats go, again, there was a little bit of fat like in the cheese here and there, the sauces possibly, even in the meat, but again, very little amount of fat. So all in all, the macros are definitely there. I would say it's good. All right, now we got dessert. So I guess that's the end of this meal. We have a little leaf chocolate here, and then the other mango ice cream, some gold flakes on the top. That is delicious. 10 out of 10. All right, here we go. Wow. I think like this is like dried mango as well, like dry freeze mango. This is definitely the best thing that I've eaten here at this restaurant today. I'll give this 5 out of 5. All right, so that's about it. That's gonna wrap up the €1,000 dinner. And right here, we just got the bill. Let's check it out. 660 euros. But yeah, we had €1,000 to spend. We ended up only spending 660 euros. Overall, what you get for 660 euros, considering what I got before, I would say 1,000% it's not worth it. You can also get this, maybe not the same exact view, but a very similar view just further down the road or down the cliffside. And you'll have a meal that tastes way better with fresher ingredients for a fraction of the price. I think I spent under 100 euros, if not like a little over 100 euros on last night's dinner. So that's gonna be my final verdict. The overall vibe, atmosphere, view it's like 10 out of 5. It's like way better than what I expected. The service was very good. The food, on the other hand, I'm gonna give that probably closer to an overall 1.5, 2. This place could do so much better. It has so much more potential. I don't think that we hit the protein intake for the day. We still have the last final test. Can I hit a planche after this meal? Let's see. All right, y'all, I'm in the airport lounge now on my way back to Miami. I've already been on the road for the past 2 weeks. We have one last test to go for. That's gonna be the full planche. I'm already feeling kind of full and bloated, but let's see how this goes. Not sure how long that was, maybe 3 seconds. You guys gotta let me know down in the comment section below whether that's a pass or not. But anyway, thanks for following along with me on this fun day out here in Polignano Amare. If you enjoyed the video, definitely smash that like button, comment down below, and I'll see you guys with a brand new video next week. Mad love, peace out, baby.